the window and I'm looking at the trees. I love trees. I've always loved trees. And actually, let's backtrack real quick. Let's backtrack. There's a tree in my backyard, and I noticed it last year when I was around this time when I would be sitting outside, spend time with myself and spend time with nature and, looking at the clouds and the birds and trees and stuff. And I noticed this one tree in my backyard. I was leaning over, and I have a video of me being like, hey, lean back, hey, lean back. And I haven't looked at that video since, but that was last year. But recently, I noticed a tree, and it's like, I think it's fell over more since. And I'm like, no, don't fall. Please don't fall. But honestly, like, and I'm like, I've thought to myself, like, will I know when it falls? Will I be home when it falls? Will I be around when it falls? Will I feel it when it falls? Will something tell me when it falls? Will it fall? Anyways, it's super tall, huge tree. But like right when it starts coming out the ground, it's like already leaning over and it goes high, 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 high. And the other trees around it are like holding it up. And it's like, wow, I'm so proud of that tree. And it's like I see myself in the tree. It's like, wow, I'm so proud of you. You made it through all of the storms and all of the rain and all of the snow and all of the hail and all of the wind and all of the this and all of that and this, that, whatever. It's just little things like that. And on my way here, on the road, I'm outside, I'm looking at the trees, and I see so many trees that have fallen over, and I'm like, are you okay? And it's like, y'all probably like, well, some of y'all gonna be like, huh? But some of y'all gonna get it. Some of y'all get it. Anyways, I'm looking at trees, I see some falling over, and I'm like, are you okay? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, do the other trees know? Do the other trees care? Do the other trees feel it? Does it affect them? And one of the poems I wrote was, I see trees falling over and I wonder if they can still breathe. I wonder if I can still breathe. And when I went back to that after writing that, I was like, oh, okay, I see what I was doing there. But something else I wrote, because I was feeling bad. And that was right after someone made a remark to me that made me feel like they pity me. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, don't pity me. I don't like that. Anyways, something else I wrote was, I think I put this on my phone, but I wrote it down on here. You don't pity the tree falling over. You just don't let it hit the floor, or you just don't let it hit the ground. And yeah, you see someone falling over, you don't pity them. You just don't let them fall. But let me tell y'all, it was around the middle or end of February when I wasn't writing so much poetry, and I really wished I had been. It's like, where's the inspiration? What's going on? Like, why isn't it coming out of me? And I was just like, I was kind of upset about it. Like, I was writing, like, where to go? And yeah, so February, anyways, this is March right now, and we're in National Poetry Month. And last March for me was like that was my favorite month last year. So much happened, so many magical things, literally. God, oh my gosh, signs from my grandparents on another level. And that made me look forward to this month so much more, because I'm like, okay, this is magical March. I'm waiting for the magic. So let me tell you, and the magic has been on another level. But going back to February, like I felt uninspired, even though sometimes I feel uninspired. I know inspiration is always inside me, and there's different things that always inspire me. It's just a matter of what's gonna trigger it to pour out, what's gonna let it pour out, what's gonna let it spill out, what's gonna be that thing, or what's when will it just come out of me? And I was picking up different books in February, trying to reread poetry books that, I'm like, okay, maybe this will help me write more, this, that, whatever. And it didn't, none of them did that. And honestly, I've been taking my time with Love and Gaslight by Veronica Wild that I just love, 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 love. And that's my favorite poetry book ever. Anyways, let me tell y'all, last Sunday, I believe I wrote like 5 poems or so. And then it was Monday when I wrote like 20 or something. And then Tuesday, and I wrote like 20 more. And then Wednesday. Anyways, today is Sunday. And since last week on the dot, I've written at least 128 poems. Yeah, I counted. That never happens. It just never happens. So it's funny, it was Wednesday when I'm writing so much. I was on the toilet. I had my pen with me. I have to go to the bathroom with my pen in my notepad because something's always coming to me and I can't miss it. And sometimes when I bring a book to the toilet, you're probably like, girl, I don't care. Sometimes when I bring a book to the toilet, I have to bring a pen with me or a highlighter because I can't just read without it. And it was one of the days last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago when I brought a pen and I didn't have anything. And I'm like, what am I going to write on? I wrote a poem that came to mind on a piece of toilet paper. March 2nd, 11:30 p.m. I wrote on the toilet. Silence is a language I pretend not to speak. So you can find new ways to feed your words to me. I like the taste of reassurance. Am I selfish for needing it every day and expecting you to know? I need to know you are sweet. I feel guilty for wanting to walk away without it. Maybe I should have told you silence is my least favorite language. I understand it perfectly. But it's what everyone speaks right when they're packing their things. So I'll save you some time and be on my way. Yeah, we on another level over here. We're not letting these notes slip out. No. No. Because sometimes I have some, like I remember one time I was on the toilet, a good little 3-liner came to me, and then I forgot it later on. Like, no, we're not doing that no more. Hey Alexa, make this a note. Remember this for me. Yeah. I even have to do that sometimes. But when I was on the toilet last Wednesday, I was writing, and it hit me. I think this is when I had written at least 60 by this point. And it hit me that the same day I started writing so much was the same day I started reading this book, Questions for Autumn. This book is on another level. And it's so funny. It's a beautiful book. I've yet to finish, but I'm towards the very end. And I didn't realize it. I just knew I really enjoyed the book. I really loved the book. And I started on Sunday and I started writing on Sunday. And I continued reading and I continued writing. Actually, it might have been Tuesday when I was on the toilet and it hit me, but I believe it was Wednesday. Anyways. Just knowing that this book inspired all of these poems, I'm like, wow, that's a powerful book. So much has been coming out of me, and like, it's one thing to, I don't even know what I was about to say. But this is just, first of all, I recommend this book to any and everyone now. Beautiful poetry book. And it just makes me more excited for my poetry book. It makes me more excited for my poetry book. And most of the poems I've written were short poems. And I rarely write short poems, and I really love my short poems. I normally just, if I come up with like a good 2 lines or something, I just say, all right, we're gonna come back to this. I feel like not all poems were meant to come back to, but it's just always possible to. Like, it's your poem, you decide whatever your heart feels. But it's just like, wow. And I'm telling myself, a short poem is still a poem. it might even be more powerful than the longer ones because you're saying so much in so little. And something else I was doing on my way here on the road was rereading some poems that I wrote last month. And I read them, and it's like, there's magic. I never disregard. It's not possible for me to disregard any sort of bit of magic in my life or at all. I always notice it. Anyways, I wrote this on February 10th during one of my workshops with Rudy Francisco. He always gave us time to do a 10-minute free write at the beginning of each workshop, each class, and he's like, he tells us like, you know, you're most likely, you may not like it, and that's okay, but at least get something out every single day on the paper if you can. Highly suggest. And this is one of them I wrote on February 10th. The last class. Wow, this is week 6, yeah. This people person doesn't have too many people, but I've learned that it's not something to be ashamed of. I guess I've given strangers the capacity to let their love overflow unto me more than the ones who are close. I never noticed how afraid I am of vulnerability and how I equate it to weakness, but only when it comes to me. Because I hold space for everyone but myself, and I don't understand why. I want to be seen until someone can see right through me. My scars iridescent, easier to see when I'm shining my light, so maybe that's why I identify myself with my shadows. Anyways, so on March 16th, when I reread this, I just reread this poem, and literally my mouth dropped at the end. This poem came out of me. This is good. OMG. And I'm sure when I wrote this, I didn't notice how good it was. I'm just proud of myself for little things like that. It's like, wow, yeah, this is true. Yeah, like, wow, that was deep. Yeah, I felt that. Like, I mean, obviously, like, these are my words. It's like, oh, wow, I wrote that? I didn't even remember this. I didn't even remember I wrote poems in here for real. I mean, like, but I never really go back to them. And it's just like, wow, that was good. And I'll share another one. My obit. An obit is a poem in the form of an obituary. So he's like, give someone or something that died a date. And it could be literally anything. Come on, it's poetry. Anyways, he gave us like 10 minutes to try to make our own. And I just reread this on the 16th. I'm like, whoa. So here we go. My love for you died in the middle of spring, when every flower decided they no longer want to take from the sun. When I realized whatever we had wasn't love, you were a parasite drying out my soil. I'm like, okay. And on the 16th, I wrote, can't believe I wrote this, LOL. And just last month, when I read soil, I think soul. It's funny because when I read it just now, I didn't think that, but I just be feeling my own poems. And what I have been doing lately, I've been writing for me, and I'm proud of myself. I was talking to a friend last month, and I was sharing some of my a poem. I think I shared some of my poems, but there was one specific one where I shared it, and I was like obsessing over certain things that I had to change, or certain things that just had to sound good. And I'm like, did you get it? Did you get it? When I read this to you, like, did you get it? Like, what do you get? What do you hear? And they reminded me, like, it's okay. Like, maybe, what did he say? He said something about the fact that I'm thinking too much about how people perceive it or how they're receiving it instead of just writing. I'm like, you're right. You're absolutely right. But why write for anyone else anyways? Shoot. And I feel like that's why I've been really loving and appreciating my work more. And, you know, I wrote one of the poems, and it's real short, and I think I wrote, like, I'm writing again, for me this time. And I think I've been, you know, talking for about 30 minutes now. I don't know. But I'm going to share something. I'm going to share one of my fresh poems. I wrote literally over 100, so I don't even know what I want to share, but I'll share whichever one's I feel like Okay, here we go. One of them. When you step out of your comfort zone, make sure you go somewhere safe. And y'all, this something I also love about short poems is they can be just that, or you can always add on to it. And like some of them I write, and then I like go and look at another one. I'm like, oh, I can combine those two, or oh, we can do this or do that. So yeah. Oh yeah, y'all like my one earring? I lost the other one. I'm gonna find it. Okay. Here we go. If we meet again, I hope you're more full moon than crescent. I don't like how I said that. If we meet again, I hope you're Bro, I stay stuttering. If we meet again, I hope you're more full moon than crescent. Still, every phase is beautiful. I prefer straightforward softness. I'm still trying to gain my trust back. Why didn't you listen to you? It's really my thoughts, but like, it's still poetry. Like, my thoughts are poetic. Maybe I always feel like people will leave me because I'm always ready to leave. I see everything and everything, so it doesn't matter who you pretend to be. Yeah, I'm the softest I've ever been. I really feel like I'm just becoming like softer, more gentle, you know, like I've only known tough. I've only known aggressive. I've only known quick response and like blunt and no filter and no self-control and whatever comes to mind, and I've never been slow to speak. But I feel like I am now, and I've become more patient, and it just makes me happy because I was so comfortable in that like toughness, but I didn't want to be that. Like that's not who I am. I'm soft, you know? I'm like, don't play with me. But I'm soft. I'm gentle. I want to be that, and I am that, and I'm so happy for me. Like, nobody wants to be a fucking hard rock all the time, bro. That gets tiring. But then, I mean, it protects you, but then you push people away with that. You're rude. And you don't even realize it because that's just who you are, right? That's what you've always known. But then you break out of that. Something breaks you down. You thought you was invincible. Now you got broken down. Yeah, the hard rock, the concrete. Nah. You're soft. I always play anagrams in my mind, trying to see how many words I can make out of just one. I do the same with strangers, trying to see how many people they pretend to be before they get too close. I always see it coming. When you finally start to love your reflection and the mirror no longer makes you feel welcome, stand by. I can finally recognize me, and she feels so familiar. All right, I think that was good. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for being here. I hope to be consistent and post, you know, whatever, but I'll see you when I see you. You'll see me when you see me, and, you know, stay safe, stay loved. Bye-bye.
Poem, baby. Oh, this is going in a poem, baby. You said what? That's crazy. I know. I knew you were gonna say that. Trees are so beautiful, bro. Trees are so beautiful, bro. I just gotta put my hands on this one, my favorite one. And I gotta put my hands on this one because it went down with my favorite. That is so deep, bro. Do you know how deep that is, bro? I've been keeping my eyes on this tree since last year. I've had my eyes on this tree since last year. Remember how you? Sorry.
I wonder when it fell.
What the flip?
Wait.
Look at it literally took another one down.
I just said that.
I know, but like no, I was listening. But like now you look at.
I know.
What the flip?
I know. All I'm gonna say is, I love this tree. I knew about this tree. I don't know the tree's full story, but I was proud of it. I still am proud of it. There goes the wind. It's picking up. Why are you laughing, bro?
Bruh, I'm sorry, but.
All right. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras.